This is the regular meeting of the Mobile City Council, Wednesday, November 8th. Please stand for the invocation led by Public Safety Chaplain Ed Connick and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's place ourselves in the presence of the Lord. Dear Heavenly Lord, we thank you for this occasion as we come to the Mobile City Council meeting, and we ask your blessings upon all the city councilmen and their staff. And we pray for the mayor and his staff. May they always have the wisdom and knowledge with the compassion and love to best serve all the citizens of this city. And Lord, we pray for all the residents. Keep them safe. Bless all the first responders with their safety and the blessings upon their families. And we ask God's blessings upon this meeting. And we all ask this all in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Councilmember Penn.
Here.
Councilmember Carroll.
Here.
Council President Small.
Here.
Councilmember Reynolds.
Here.
Councilmember Daves.
Here.
Councilmember Woods.
Here.
Council Vice President Gregory. Here. Statement of rules by Council President.
And good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's good to see everyone at our November 8th meeting. At this meeting, we do have rules. At this time, I ask if anyone have any type of electronic device, including cell phones, please at this time put it on the off or the vibrator position. The off or the vibrator position. Any person desiring to address the council must sign in indicating the resolution, the ordinance appeal, or public hearing agenda item before entering the meeting. When addressing the council, the speaker must state his or her name before speaking. Any person desiring to speak to the council on a non-agenda item must contact the city clerk office no later than 2:00 p.m. on the Thursday prior to the council meeting. The subject that he or she wishes must be identified pertaining to the city of Mobile business. Any person who has not given proper notice to the city clerk office and wishes to speak on a non-agenda item will not be allowed to address the council. Each speaker is allowed 3 minutes to address the council. A bell will sound to indicate the end of 2 minutes. 1 minute remains for summarizing. The second bell indicates that your time has expired. When addressing the council, there is to be no personal address to any individual council members. All statements are to be made to the chair, who will recognize any council member who wishes to respond. To maintain decorum, there will be no undue applause and or public outcry allowed. Madam Clerk.
Communications from Mayor Stimson.
Council President, City Council, the mayor could not attend this meeting, so I'll be making remarks, or at least I have 2 proclamations that I'll read on his behalf. Could I, from Goodwill Christmas Ornament Proclamation attendees Frank Harkins, the CEO of Goodwill Gulf Coast, and Alexis Pugh, the communications manager, step up. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Hey, Lex. Proclamation reads, whereas Goodwill Gulf Coast, which is headquartered in Mobile, Alabama, serves 10 counties along the Gulf Coast in Alabama and Florida as a leading nonprofit provider of services for people with disabilities and others in need. And whereas Goodwill Gulf Coast provides programs and services to help individuals and families overcome challenges due to disabilities with other barriers that impact economic well-being, sufficiency, and quality of life, including early intervention programs, employment services, job training, and educational and social services. And whereas to help support these valuable community programs and services, Goodwill Gulf Coast is introducing the 2023 Christmas on the Coast Ornament, the 30th in a series of limited edition Christmas ornaments, this year recognizing the Bankhead Tunnel, and in a humorous way, the numerous recreational vehicles and trucks that exceed the total's 12 feet height clearance and get stuck in the entrance each year. Now therefore, I, William S. Stimson, the 108th Mayor of the City of Mobile, along with the Mobile City Council, do hereby proclaim Christmas on the Gulf Coast ornament as the official 2023 ornament of the City of Mobile, done at the City of Mobile, Alabama, this 8th day of November 2023, signed William S. Stimson, the Mayor. Come on this side, Alexis. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Chief Barber. This is our 30th year of celebrating the people of Mobile. We've used landmarks, we've used tradition, and this year we did a little humor, hopefully. Christmas has got its ho-ho-ho. We just wanted to put a ha-ha in there and put that truck stuck in the tunnel. So thank you for embracing the humor. Every community, it's not the brick and mortar that make the community, it's the people. And this is the greatest place to live, to raise a family, to work and to play. And we're very appreciative and much gratitude for that. Real quickly, Goodwill, you grew up knowing Goodwill. It's an icon. But this is your Goodwill. There's 155 Goodwills, and this one in Goodwill Gulf Coast is Mobile's. It was founded here in Mobile in 1956. But Goodwill got its start in 1902, over 120 years ago. A Methodist preacher, a man who loved Jesus Christ, started Goodwill. He believed that God created everyone with a purpose and meaning. And we still embrace that today. The Reverend Helms, Edgar Helms, he wanted to give people a hand up, not a handout. He wanted to give them a chance, not a charity. So he embraced helping the least of thee. And every community has people that need help. And that's our target group. We served over 13,000 people this year in early preschool education, all the way up to grandma and grandpas and everything in between. We're here to help another human being be all that God created them to be. We have a team of 500 people on our team. 30% of those are people with disabilities, and 5% of those are veterans. So we're just a reflection of this community, and we're thankful for it. And I want to thank you, the council, the mayor's office, for the leadership that you're providing my hometown, my community. I've got children and grandchildren growing up here, and I thank you for your leadership, your heart. We have a saying at our organization: we should treat everyone with love, with dignity, and with respect. And I think this community embraces that also. So thank y'all, and God bless you.
Thank you.
Mr. President,
Mr. Penn.
I want to thank you so much for coming down for the ornaments. I always share this story. When I was a kid, didn't have a lot of money, and my parents didn't have a lot of money, and so Goodwill was a place that we shopped at. But people thought I was going to dealers, because my mom was able to find the clothes. And so amazing about that story is that my brother started a business, and now he goes to Goodwills across America and find stuff and sell it. And that's what he's been doing for the last 10 years. So it's just amazing that from our story, I have to purchase clothes. Now he's able to provide for his family and the business owners because of Goodwill. So thank you so much for your service.
Can I call up all the people that are here for Nonprofit Awareness Month to come forward? Face that way. You'll split up on both sides. Proclamation reads, Whereas nonprofit organizations are formed to help improve the quality of life for individuals and the community, and whereas these organizations impact every facet of life by contributing to the substantial needs and services of the general public, and whereas South Alabama Coalition of Nonprofits is a local group of nonprofit organizations that represent organizations of a common purpose and goal, and whereas in an effort to expand partnerships and gain local engagement, the coalition works continuously to build an effective relationship with local public officials by hosting an annual elected officials reception. And whereas through strategic goals and objectives, the increase in advocacy and public awareness is accomplished. And whereas the importance and benefit of nonprofit organizations helps to address issues and provide a voice to the public demand, increasing the effectiveness in economic wealth and community development. Now, therefore, I, William S. Simpson, the 108th Mayor of the City of Mobile, do hereby proclaim November 2023 as Nonprofit Awareness Month in the City of Mobile, done at the City of Mobile, Alabama, this 8th day of November 2023. Signed, William S. Simpson. Hey, no.
Thank you all so much for what y'all do for our community.
Mr. President, that'll conclude the remarks from the mayor's office.
Adoption of the agenda.
Second.
Been properly moved and second in discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Agenda's adopted.
Appeals. We have requests for waivers of the noise ordinance at Crestview Park on December 2nd and Cathedral Square on November 22nd.
So moved.
Second.
Been properly moved and second in discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Appeal passes.
Public hearings. Public hearing to consider modification of a previously approved plan unit development to be consistent with the proposed subdivision at 6301 Greenlot Road.
This opens up the public hearing for this particular said item. Is anyone present that would like to address the council? If so, you may come down to the podium by stating your name. Is anyone present? If not, this particular public hearing is closed.
Public hearing to declare the structures at 2712 Harper Avenue, 815 Chin Street, and 2351 Howell Avenue public nuisances and ordering them demolished.
This opens up the public hearing for these particular said items. Is anyone present that would like to address the council? If so, you may come down to the podium by stating your name. Is anyone present?
Good morning. My name is Sheila Bracey. I'm here in reference to 815 Chin Street. I would like to say that plans are being made to demolish this structure.
Mr. Carey, did you want to ask some questions?
That unless you're asking, you're wanting it demolished, correct?
That's what I plan to do, or the plans are being made to demolish. I am not in resistance of it being classified as a nuisance.
So you'd like us to demolish it, or would you like to do it yourself?
I will plan to do it myself.
Okay, so we'll table this and let you demolish it yourself.
Why don't we hold it over 60 days?
60
Make sure
days.
she gets it demolished.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Carroll, could we hold this over for 60 days to allow her to get her permit, and then that way she does not have to come back? That way we can track it.
The question is how quickly can she do it? And we can't answer that question. So the question would be to her, what's your timeline? How quickly are you planning on doing this?
I have contacted the business to do it. So it's pretty much left up to him. However, he has given me a time frame for
Yes, ma'am.
to get started. He has gone out, looked at the structure, given me a price,
Uh-huh.
and we'll move forward. Are you all giving me a time frame?
Well, they were asking for 60 days. I didn't know how long it was going to take you to get everything in line, so I left it open. If you're going to have it done within 60 days, then we'll do that.
I feel like 60 days will work for me.
Yes, ma'am.
However, I'm dependent upon him now, his word.
Understood.
Thank you.
Is anyone else present that would like to address the council on any of these particular said items? If not, these public hearings are closed.
Presentation of petitions and other communications to the council, Levi Wright Jr.
Good morning, City Council. I would like to, this is my first time speaking to the City Council, so I would like to present to you some young ladies that are representing our community, but I stand in reference to our community motorcade and the problems that we have had throughout the years in reference to pricing. I would like to introduce Ms. Jackson. She's representing Miss Mobile County Training High School, which is closed, but we're still trying to keep the legacy and the history of African Town still available. Ms. Gloria Lane, she's representing Miss Alumni for Central High School. This historical school has been closed as well, but we're still pursuing the legacy and our legacy of our community members. And then we have Mrs. Vanessa, Vanessa representing Tomerville, LaFleur. These are Miss Alumni for the year. Can you give them an applause? If I had, y'all may be seated. If I have someone to volunteer to hold our signs up right for me, please. Thank you for the volunteers. I know my time is moving, but I want to present to the committee that we're having major problems trying to get information in reference to our motorcade that we have. The motorcade consists of deceased loved ones in our community, community leaders, our educators, our bankers, different ones that are in our black community. And we honor them when they pass, their legacy, and we ask their family to come and we present them with awards and let them know we appreciate the services and the sacrifices they have done throughout the years. But when I go to the city to get the permit, it's $25 application fee, which is fine. But then when I started this in 2008, which was 15 years ago, we only had to pay $50 for our parade. Now it has went up to $3,000 for a motorcade for the city. It's not fair to our community or anything like that. I have worked with Huntsville Parade for 7 years. They have 189 units. I worked with Birmingham Magic City Classic for 18 years. I just got back 2 weeks ago. They have 373 units. I worked with Montgomery Turkey Day Classic, Alabama State and Historical Tuskegee for 4 years. They have 212 units. I've been a member of the Mobile Area Mardi Gras Association for 27 years, proudly, and a member of Pritchard Mardi Gras Association for 2 years. And I'm telling you, with all of these years, that's a total of 62 years of working with various committees throughout the state of Alabama. And I must say, sadly, and very disappointing, that this is the only city that I had to take off work, come down, meet, and when you get there to meet them, they're not there. And then when you do meet with them, they don't have any answer. They said, well, I can't do anything. You need to go see the police chief. I go see the police chief. I've been working on this for all year. And when they give me a price, when I go down there to give me a price, they say, oh, it's going to be divided between you and another group.
Mr. Wright, I'm gonna ask the council if I can get 2 council members to extend you 1 minute, but you got 1 minute.
Okay.
1 minute to sum it up. Okay, can I get one more?
Yes.
1 minute.
Okay. My goal is for us to have our event the Saturday after Thanksgiving. It's a community motorcade. We haven't had any incidents or anything like that. And we are self-funded. We are a nonprofit organization. We don't ask the city or the city councils for any sponsors or anything. But the city continued to go up and up and up on the fees that now we can't even do it. We can't even have anything in reference to supporting our community, and I want us to have that. So my 1 minute, I'm asking the council to waive our fee for our motorcade for this year because of the hardship that I've been going through and being overcharged all of these years for motorcade. Then the next thing is to be grandfathered in, and also provide a point of contact that can provide all of the information that I need, so I won't have to go from one person. I had to talk to 6 different people to get to here. Now, when I put my name on the agenda, I got a call from every news station in Mobile. I got called from people from the city, from here to come. But I shouldn't have to do that.
Mr. Wright, we want to ask our Public Safety Director if you can acknowledge some of his concerns.
Mr. President, and before
Mr. Penn.
our Public Safety Director come, I just had a couple questions on Ms. Wright. Thank you so much for coming down. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Of course, Tomerville, LaFleur is a major part of who I am. I'm a graduate of the best high school in the world. I'll tell everybody that. But a couple questions. You said you participate, you had 62 years total experience with all these different Mardi Gras organizations. How much does it cost to do a Mardi Gras parade in Birmingham?
I don't know. I don't know the entire cost, the total cost of the parade, but I know if someone would participate in the parade, the cost is free to register. And also, if you have a car, they have a lot of cars. They are free. They don't charge anyone to be in the parade in the Magic City Classic in Birmingham, nor Montgomery, Alabama, and also with this year to Tuskegee. And I asked them, it was the same thing. But in Mobile, we have to charge.
All right, Mr. Wright, again, the question was how much, you have 62 years of experience. So, and you name all these organizations, how much does it cost for Huntsville?
Huntsville, I can't give you a figure in reference to how much it costs. I can tell you how much it costs for participation. They don't discuss that with us. They tell us how the total cost of the parade. The city takes that cost, and they have sponsors to take that cost or whatever. But the individuals that participate in the motorcades, there are no additional fee or anything like that.
Mr. Wright, you're a part also, you said the Mardi Gras Association here in the city of Mobile, right?
Yes.
How much does it cost for them to parade?
I'm not on that committee. We have a special committee that deals with nothing but Mobile Area Mardi Gras Association.
The reason why I'm asking all these questions, you stated all this experience that you have, and you're stating that this should be free, and that these other cities are doing it on an excellent level, but you haven't also gave me any costs of those other cities with all the different experiences that you have given.
I can only give you the cost that I'm endure from the city of Mobile. And also, I was quoted one price, and when I got home, and when I got back home, they called me 2 hours later and said, "I'm sorry, Mr. Wright, I have some news." I said, "Well, great. I know y'all overcharged me." So she said, "No." I talked to Officer Engels, and he said, "It's not $17,000 that you paid yet last year. It's $3,000.
Okay.
And I have all of my receipts to verify that, and I also have a copy of the letter that I sent to the different chiefs. And then also, it's a surprise. Last year, we got approved for the motorcade. I went on and we paid everything, but they called us 2 weeks before and said you had to have insurance for motorcade.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Wright, thank you so much for coming down. I do want to let the public know that I'm a supporter of the Tomerville LaFleur Association. This year and last year, I have given the amount to support the parade. The Tomerville LaFleur Association, since its beginning of operation, has given thousands of dollars towards LaFleur High School. This past year, over $50,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. The reason why I support this organization is because they are giving back towards the school, and it's a great opportunity to celebrate the legacy in the Tomerville community. But I hear what Mr. Wright has stated, and so now, Public Safety Director, would you be able to come and answer some of those questions that he had brought before us?
And also, the money that you're talking about, I'm the one that founded the Alumni Association and started that organization.
But thank you so much for your service, Mr.
You're quite
Wright.
welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Wright.
Mr. Chairman, Council, I'm to understand that there are actually 2 groups that are doing the parade. They split, Mr. his group is split off about 2 years ago. They each get billed the appropriate amount. There is a 5% increase this year because the officers get paid 5% more. I would be happy to serve in the future as a point of contact for Mr. Wright, so he's got one-stop shopping. I can go through the past bills with him and make sure that the process is seamless. But there is a charge commensurate with any other charge who holds such a parade in Mobile.
So if we, my question is, we have different organizations that parade during that same time, they have to pay a separate fee?
Correct. If there's at the same time, that fee is basically split in half or commensurate with the amount of officers for that parade. So if there was a same parade at the same time, that total bill would be split in half and give half to one, half to the other.
So for the cost?
Correct.
So just use an example, this past year, the cost for the parade, I think, was around $3,400. I'm just throwing a number out.
I believe it was $3,400 per group.
Per group.
Correct.
So the cost totally, so the total cost would be $6,000.
Correct.
And it was split in half.
Correct.
Okay. So if it was only one group, it's less amount.
Correct, because the number of officers.
I ask the audience to please cease from talking, please. If you need to have a sidebar conversation, please step out of this chamber.
But I'll be happy to sit down with Mr. Wright, go through his documents, double check them, and make sure that everything is correct and was billed correctly, and that he was not overcharged in any manner.
Yeah, I just want to make sure going forward, because of course, in District 1, we also have the Trinity Garden Parade, and we have multiple organizations that parade during that time, that whatever we do in this situation, that it is the same model. There's nothing different from any other organization, or when I know Gina has her Mardi Gras parade in her district as well as the parade of threes that's on DIP. So I know that we have a lot of different parading organizations around outside the Mardi Gras time, and just want to make sure that we're following everything and his concerns is being heard.
Absolutely, sir. I will sit down with him. I'll go through his documentation. I will compare it to how it's done everywhere else in the city and make sure it's consistent.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Mr. Wright, time expired. Thank you. Thank you. Madam Clerk.
Pastor Valenia Green.
She's not present.
Thomas Mitchell.
He's not present.
Clint Gilbert.
Yes. Good morning, City Council. My name is Clint Gilbert. I'm a resident of District 6. I've been a resident here for about 5 years now. I live with my wife and 2 daughters. I wanted to address you all this morning about the talks that the Biden administration is talking about bringing Palestinian refugees into the United States, like they've done twice before already in recent years. Some of these people may wind up in the city of Mobile. I want to take a minute to remind everybody of who these Palestinian people are. In 2006 and ever since then, for almost 20 years, these people have been electing Hamas terrorists to govern them. We don't need these people here. We don't want them here being part of our voter pool. Hamas, of course, is the people that conducted the recent October 7 terrorist attacks against Israel, killed 1,400 of them, straight out murder. All right. I think our problems are bad enough here already. After the October 7 attacks, a poll was conducted of American Muslims. 57% of American Muslims say that the Hamas attacks against Israel were justified and they were okay. They cut the heads off of little babies, and people are saying that's okay. People here in America, I oppose that. We don't need these people here. All right.
I'm sorry, sir. Chief Staff, I'm going to ask if you can ask your chief police officer if they see someone with sidebar conversations to please escort them out, please. Madam Clerk, if you can start his time back over. I do apologize for that, sir.
It's okay, thank you. In addition, the Palestinian people and their Iranian masters, they have a saying. They say, first we're going to kill the Saturday people, and then they say we're going to kill the Sunday people. Well, they've already killed the Saturday people. That's the Jews. They're already doing it. All right. So the Sunday people, well, that's all us in here that just prayed to the Lord Jesus, the King of the Jews. That's us. They say they're going to kill us. Okay? It's profoundly unwise to allow these people to come here to the city of Mobile. All right, so I spent 39 months of my military career in the kind of places that these people come from. You can take my word for it when I say that their way of life, their culture, their preferred forms of government is incompatible with ours. These people will not mix with us. They don't believe in equality like we do. These people think that they're superior to us. All right? So what I would suggest is that we do not have to cooperate with the corruption and the lawlessness coming out of Washington, D.C. They illegally settled these people in the past. All right, we don't have to cooperate with that. We can preemptively make a resolution that says that under no circumstance will we allow the federal government to settle these people within our city. We have a right and responsibility to govern ourselves, and that's pretty much it. We got a right to do that. We govern ourselves, and we don't need to let them settle these people here. And that's all I got to say. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak. I know y'all didn't have to let me speak, so thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. President.
Mr. Penn.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you for any speaker that come down. I just think we need to be mindful of targeting a whole group. I'm against any terrorist attack, anybody who's doing those type of things, and I agree those acts are horrific. But at the same time, we can't say the whole country of people have that same mindset. I think it's dangerous. I think we seen that back in the day when we looked at, African Americans. Just say these people. I think is very just dangerous to put that in place. I'm against any terrorists, any person that are murdering innocent people on both sides, regardless of where you at. And I think we need to focus on that. Thank you, Mr. President.
Madam Clerk.
Christine Dallas.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm Christine Dallas, the mother of Jawan Dallas, and I'm here for transparency, accountability, and justice for my son. I've been coming here week after week after week trying to get some answers. I still have not gotten any answers. I was very shocked by what Chief Prime said a couple of weeks ago about the police officers not being the direct cause of death for my son. However, if the police had not accosted my son, went to his car, he would be alive today. They're saying medical distress. If he had medical distress, they caused it. So for me, they are responsible for my son's death. We have yet to get a chance to see the video. I have been denied access to the autopsy, toxicology report, and even a death certificate. Being that the police department says that they're through with the investigation, seems like to me, I should be able to receive my son's property. No one called us to say that the police department had finished their investigation, and as of right now, still, I cannot get his property. So I would like to know what's going on with that. I also don't feel like the police officers who is in this investigation should be out on the streets, because they are a threat to the community. If they're being investigated, it looks like to me they should be at a desk somewhere, but not patrolling the streets. You have two other officers who were involved with slamming the little girl to the ground, and the other with the guy being beaten while handcuffed. They're on desk jobs, and these cops who killed my son is back out on the streets. I don't understand that. You all say that you can do policies or make up policies for the police department. Seem like you all should start maybe doing some type of citizen police review board to let us all have a voice in the policies for the police department. It's something really needs to be done about this. This is straight corruption. Everybody knows what happened to my son but me and my family. I'm tired of coming up here asking for information and not from barber, I don't even know how he should know what's on the video. Several people I know what's on the video. Everybody except for us. It's not right. I just want to know what happened to my son, what led to his death. And if they're saying the police officers did not cause his death, then why is it so hard for them to show us, my family, the video? It would prove, if they're telling the truth, it would prove what they're saying. So that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm going to continue to come until something changes.
Thank you.
Alex Lofton. Betty Martin.
Good morning. My name is Betty K. Martin. I'm here to speak about Jawan Dallas. Just requesting the body cam, requesting the autopsy for the family to see, also his property. That's all. Thank you.
LaTanya Thompson. Katie Herndon.
Good morning. My name is Katie Herndon. The people who can make the decision to allow Mr. Dallas's family to view the body cam footage are sitting in this room right now. Citizens do not need to go to state lawmakers or to the Capitol or rely on the DA. The Mobile Police Department can and may allow Ms. Dallas to view the footage, and they can do it today. The law in Alabama regarding body cam footage states that the custodial law enforcement agency, which is in this case the Mobile Police Department, may either release the footage to the requester or not. The point here is that Mobile Police Department has a choice, and they are choosing to deny that request. We have heard from the administration and the city attorney in a circuitous manner of why they're denying this simple request. To clear up any confusion, we're not asking that the body cam be released to the public. We are asking that Ms. Dallas be able to view it, and she has every right to know the results of the autopsy and toxicology report. It's been 5 months. The powers that be know the cause of death, but the family doesn't. The only explanation of why this has been denied to them is that something is being covered up. Grand jury secrecy is about protecting the people who are on the grand jury and not discussing the substance of what is presented before them to the public. It has nothing to do with allowing a family member of a person who died while in police custody from seeing what actually happened. We have body cameras for this sole purpose, to increase transparency and accountability. It cuts both ways. Accountability of the police officers and accountability of citizens or those being apprehended by the police. This situation involving the tragic death of Jawan Dallas is yet another example of how the system failed him, his family, and the citizens of Mobile. Mrs. Dallas doesn't even know the name of the police officers involved. There have been comments from this council that they're sorry, it's just out of their control. Well, the time for sympathy is over. This council can do something. The Mobile City Council, according to the Zogby Act, is the legislative body of the city of Mobile. That means this council has legislative authority and can change the policy legislatively by drafting ordinances. Police departments can have written body camera policies. MPD does not even have a body camera policy available to the public that I can find. Does MPD have an official policy regarding body cameras? If so, what is it? Did citizens have input? As a mother, I can't even fathom how Ms. Dallas feels. She is gracious and has been patient long enough. It's time our city is gracious and allows her some closure. She deserves to know what happened to her son. Thank you.
Norma Moore.
Good morning. My name is Norma Moore. I'm here today. I'm speaking as a mother, one of Jawan's aunties, sister, and a caring citizen. No disrespect to the councilmen or the mayor of Mobile, Alabama. We fear you don't care. We seen no action, only talk. None of the peoples at the table was at Bethel ME Church was showing concern support on November the 23rd. Released a video to Jawan Dallas' mother and father to see. Released some pain and worry of what happened to their son. It's the right thing to do. If it was reversed, you would want justice for your son or daughter if that had happened to them. My grandmother always say, what goes around comes around. What goes up, everything you do in the dark must and will come to the light. And also you will reap what you sow. Transparency and justice, the mother and father do have a right to see the video and should not have to wait until a grand jury trial. The mayor, the city councilmen, and all the other ones up in the upper authorities can release the video for the mother and father to see in private. In my closing, you know God is not pleased how this is being handled. You should offer transparency of the Mobile police justice and accountability and stop the stalling. Malachi 6:12 says, for the rich man, they are all full of violence, and the inherited thereof have spoken lies, and their tongues is deceitful in their mouth. We noticed on last Tuesday when the officer was spoken on 10/24/23, when they decided to order paperwork to release information and found out the officers are still active duty working, and that's not fair to the family. Tell the truth, stop the unjust police violation and brutality. Release the video. No justice, no peace. Show the video. Justice for Jawan. Thank you for letting me speak today.
Mr. President.
Mr. Van.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ms. Dallas had brought up about the citizen board, the police board. I know that's inactive right now. How long has it been inactive? Do we have a?
I don't remember us abolishing it in the Administrative Services Committee. I chair that committee, and I think we left it. We did take it off. It's not abolished. We left it in case we needed to reactivate it. 2 weeks ago, I asked and said that I thought that it was time that we reactivate it to look into this issue. Now, this council can take up that action immediately and do so if it's the wishes of the body. Also, I said last week that this council could use other measures that are within the Zogby Act if we so choose to also. So, I mean, that's just an issue that this council would like to take up. That committee meeting, I think, was last year, maybe 9 months ago.
But the reason why I was asking, I know before I came on the council, I wanted to see, was it active? Like, how long has it been inactive? If we can get that information as well. And then I'm definitely interested. I think it's very vital and very important for our citizens to be, active, especially if if we already had an active organization going on, a committee, before this incident, tragic incident occurred. Also, I know I asked on last week about any legislative policy that we could put in place. Our attorney, city attorney, Mr. Lunder, can you, is there any type of policy, I know in wording, that we could put in place? Because she also mentioned about officers being on the street doing the investigation. I know Attorney Wood stated that it's certain things that we can't directly give towards the employees, city employees, but is there any way that we can word something in the policy?
Thank you, Councilmember. I have circulated a draft to some council members at their request, and I'll be happy to share it with you, a city ordinance governing the body cam disclosure pursuant to the state law. Otherwise, I believe the question, and I've looked into it since we last discussed this, but the question was raised about some kind of ordinance putting police officers on administrative duties or on administrative leave when they're involved in an incident like this. And the short answer on that is that will be open to legal challenge if the council were to do something like that, because that does invoke the Personnel Board and protections for city employees. That changes their employment status and is a material change. And again, the council can do what it wants, but there would be significant legal problems vis-a-vis the Personnel Board and employee protections on that.
All right, thank you.
To answer your question, Mr. Penn, you've been on the council for 2 years, and I believe before that it was probably 2 years, at least a minimum, before we met with that group met with the last term of councils. With that being said, I believe that all of the terms have probably been expired. So that be reactivated or be brought back together. We'll probably need a committee meeting to sit down and make sure that we go over the whole entire ordinance and make sure that everybody be on the same accord and make sure that they know what their jobs is to do and everything. So,
Mr. President, I think the question to ask is, in self-reporting, the procedure for self-reporting. I've heard several times that we self-reported and immediately sent the information over to the grand jury, which then put everything into secrecy. According to state law, the police department has a choice of procedures that they can take. Either they can take the process of not immediately going to the grand jury where this stuff is released or could be released, which then presents a whole different path. But to go directly to the grand jury puts, I would say, some type of barrier in between the information that's allowed. So that's where the question is there a way to set policy to where the procedure is different? It's a choice that's made by either the attorney or the police chief or whoever that's representing the police department at that time on which way to go. And that choice is made by that individual based on what happened at that time. So is there a way to make policy for the procedure, meaning can it be delayed such time as that the body cam footage can be given to the parents or to the stakeholder before it's sent to the grand jury? That way at least the stakeholder knows without it going public and then sent to the grand jury, because that's the question at hand here. That's for you, Michael Linder.
Thank you, Councilman Carroll. I would have to look at that a little bit more. The council is, in general, allowed to set policy for the city. So if council member, you're asking, can we enact, as the city council enact, a policy that I would assume in the event of an officer-involved death or something like that, that the footage would be immediately shared with the family? That would be subject to the state law governing body cam footage. That is the only vehicle under state law which any body cam footage can be shared. I would like to look at it a little bit more. My first instinctual reaction with that to say would be, yes, you could dictate a procedure that is to be used in that event that would allow perhaps some time period or something for that to be shared in advance, but I really would like to look at that some more.
Mr. President, at your wish, I'd like to ask our attorney to move forward with that deep dive and possibly present to us, if it's found positive in our favor, to put together some type of policy procedure that works within the alignment of the Zogby Act.
Sounds good. Okay. Madam Clerk.
Reggie Hill regarding ordinances 34050, 14052, and resolutions 091212 and 211214.
Thank you, Madam City Clerk. The podium is properly positioned this week, and the people appreciate you all for that. To the citizens and stakeholders of Mobile, greetings. Reggie Hill is my name. Let's begin, please, with 21-1214. This is the $38 million for the parking garage. This is a direct example of how to misuse the taxpayer resources, I feel. This is, again, $38 million for a parking facility. We have not approved a a facility design for the actual inside of the Civic Center yet. I don't know how these items got before that being done. Our priorities just seem to be out of order. In essence, we counted our chickens before they hatched and placed the convenience of the Army Corps of Engineers before the priorities of Mobilians. And if I recall correctly from the sentiments shared by Director DeLapp some months ago, we can never know fully what is going to happen at the Civic Center property because the original agreement claims that we will have no dealings with what the Army Corps of Engineers decides to do on the property, according to what was presented then in that agreement. I would love to be corrected if that is inaccurate. Let's look at 09-1212. This is a direct example of why we should have taken more time to consider paying for a new building at the University of South Alabama. This is a $9.6 million use from the surplus for what we could argue as false advertisement or misleading the public. We don't understand how these resources are just being moved around when we have so many other issues I believe should be addressed. Let's look at 34-050, please. This is a direct slap in the face, I believe, to local small business owners. I think this is a blatant attack on citizens such as Ms. Patricia Law. This, along with proposed amendments to the UDC, shall be addressed next week because you know we don't have the time to look at all of these matters. And for those who are unfamiliar, this is amending Chapter 34 of the Municipal Code with licenses and taxations. Lastly, let's please look at 14-052. And regardless of how it's dressed up, I believe this is a direct example of how the city's executive branch wants less oversight to conduct what could be considered backdoor dealings. We see Chapter 14 has been proposed to be amended, which deals with contracts, particularly with capital and a public work, as a gentleman identified this morning, and it's saying that we're going to take $15K to $30K and then move as well from $50K to $100K. So for the public, layman's terms, this means like if it is less than $30,000, it won't have to come before this body. If it's less than or right at $100,000, it will not have to come before this body. And I don't think that is fair to the public. I don't think that is good stewardship of our taxpayer resources. And when you send this back to the committee, this needs to be the most important thing that you focus on. Because if we can't handle getting $1,000 sent properly and correctly, what in the world these people do with room for $30,000 and $100,000? Thank you on the floor.
Thank you, Ms. Hill.
Ordinances.
Hey, hang on a second. Michael, could you take a look at the Zogbiac and see what the proponents and the dollar amounts and for contracts was at that point? And has it been I don't think we can amend the Zogbiac locally. And I think that over time we've increased those values that the administration can offer contracts on without an adjustment to the Zogbiac. I need to look at that. I just thought about that. Could you take a look at that for me?
I'll take a look, Councilmember Carroll. Just for everybody, I've sent this to Councilmember Reynolds at his request a little while ago, but the state laws governing this were amended earlier this year, taking effect in, I believe, August of this year, because that was the cap at $15,000 and $50,000 for general items and for other contracts generally. That was under state law and applied to every municipality in Alabama. So the legislature earlier this year, and it took effect a couple months ago, raised that from $15,000 to $30,000 and $50,000 to $100,000 at the option of every municipality in the state. So that has been a change to general state law that has recently come about. I don't believe it conflicts with the Zogby Act, but let me make sure of that.
Yeah, but I don't think it shadow boxes or automatically increases the values on all other state enabling acts. That's the question. It's not automatic, I don't believe.
No, I think that's why they're offering the new legislation to do it.
That's why we're offering this. Madam Clerk.
Ordinances held over. 34050, ordinance to amend Chapter 34, licenses and taxation of the Mobile City Code.
So moved.
Second. Been properly moved and second in discussion.
Yes, sir, Mr. President. I'd like to offer an amendment to Section 2B to reflect the definition of owner as stated in the Alabama Administrative Code license requirements, and it's on record with the clerk's office. And I'd also, in the same amendment, like to offer this same definition to be stated in section 3 of the ordinance.
Second.
We're properly moving second on the amendment in the discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Amendment passed. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item pass.
88051, ordinance naming properties at 2652 and 2656 Weems Drive not now needed for public or municipal purposes and authorizing the sale.
So move.
Second.
We're properly moving second in discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item pass.
If there's no objection, I'll take all except for 211214.
And
09.
12, 12, and 1214.
Yes, sir. 09, 12, 12, and 21, 12, 14. Please take those separately.
Okay. 01-1205, authorize agreement for grant participation with the Southwest Alabama Regional Highway Safety Office. 08-1206, approve purchase orders for fuel for the Wave Transit System. 08-1207, approve purchase order to CL Dews and Sons Foundry and Machinery for storm drain catch basin grates and frames. 08-1209, approve purchase order to Emergency Equipment Professional for engine and fuel system for fire pumper truck. 08-1210, approve purchase order to Lytics for July and August drive cam services for motor pool. 08-1211, approve purchase order to SHI International for 1-year subscription for Adobe Sign, Acrobat, and Creative Cloud document management software. 21-1213, authorized contract with Thompson Engineering for US 45 streetscape improvements. 25-1215, accept 5 temporary construction easements and 1 permanent sidewalk easement for Highway 45 streetscapes improvement project. 25-1216, grant permanent sanitary sewer easement and temporary construction easement to the Board of Water and Sewer Commissioners of the City of Mobile. 31-1217, authorize the mayor to apply, accept, and receive a grant for the Hurricane Response Marine Debris Removal Fund through the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation and the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. 31-1218, authorize amendment number 1 with the State of Alabama Department of Conservation and Natural Resources for existing grant Innovating St. Louis Street.
So move.
Second.
And properly moving second in discussion.
Mr. President?
Mr. Penn?
Yeah, I'm excited to, of course, to see 21, 12, 13, as well as 25, 12, 15, because it's just part of the project of Highway 45. Now we're about to start seeing some progress take place. So again, I'm excited to see this. Thank you, Mr. President.
Any other discussion?
Yeah, Mr. President,
Mr.
Mr. Penn informed me that this will only be on his side of 45.
It's District 1, Councilman Carroll, so you gotta work on District 2.
No, I'm just saying, while you're coming down 45, you just can't do one side of the street.
But honestly, you make a great point, Councilman Carroll. I think this project is just the beginning. Hopefully, the next portion, you will partner with me to complete the rest of the project.
Mm-hmm.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item pass.
09-1212, allocate funds from the unassigned fund balance in the general fund to capital improvement fund, capital project, civic center, new parking facility.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moving second in discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item pass.
21-1214, authorized contract with White Spunner Construction for Mobile Civic Center parking facility.
So moved.
Second.
And properly moving second in discussion.
Yes, sir, Mr. President.
Mr. Reynolds.
I'd like to offer an amendment to this per our discussion this morning in pre-council regarding the information provided to us by our consultant on this, Volkert. They gave us a presentation here that outlined some potential value engineering options. And there are three that I'd like to take advantage of, and those are design specific, but it is to deduct 3 inches off the thickness of the precast panels, change underground piping to PVC, and change sprinkler piping to Schedule 10, which will reduce the contract by $432,400. So my amendment is to reduce this contract amount by $432,400.
If there's a second. If there's a second. If not, the amendment failed. Any other discussion?
Mr. President, as stated in pre-council today, a $9.6 million blow is a tragedy when it comes to programming projects. It takes money out of the districts that we need in various places. District 2 needs lots of money. We need money for neighborhoods to be revitalized. We need infrastructure money. We need money even for our trees in some of these neighborhoods, but to miss it by $10 million hurts. However, I'm reminded of another building that we had downtown, which we really got into a lot of expenditures on, which was the Gulf Quest building, where we started a project and we had to finish a project. This project, however, as expensive as it is a somewhat of a must-do project now based on what we've committed ourselves to. And as I told the council this morning, I took a really deep dive into the cost and the estimating and what the true value of the project was. It's a good number. We just missed the front-end estimate on this, causing ourselves some additional funding that we now have to find a way to correct. So I'll stand behind the cost of the building. It's unfortunate that we were not in the right place with our original estimate, and it's unfortunate that we did not catch it during the design phase.
Mr. President,
Mr. Reynolds.
I think what is even more unfortunate is that we're not taking advantage of this opportunity that's before us to save the taxpayer $432,400. Although the estimate was not accurate to start with, fortunately our consultant, they weren't involved at that point. Now that we've got them involved, they are certainly looking at things and ways to value engineer. We've got a commitment from the administration going forward that they will continue to dive into opportunities to reduce the cost while still creating a structure that will last. But because our consultant has done such a great job here, they've identified these opportunities that their structural engineers have now, confirmed will have no significant impact on the project. So, that's the unfortunate part of it, that we're not taking advantage of this opportunity to save $432,000 for our taxpayers.
Mr. President,
Mr. Days, then Mr. Carroll.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. President. I think we all, the City Council and administration, deplore the fact that the amount we thought we were going to have to pay was short $9 million. Having said that, we're in the position that we're in, and we have to make the best decision based on where we are now. I think whether it's $30 or $40 million, it's going to be an expensive construction project, and what we don't want to happen is create through cost cutting, end up handing a city council and the city 15 or 20 or 25 years from now a multi-million-dollar problem to fix. We want a first-class facility in a first-class location that can be maintained at minimal expense for any number of years going forward. So I support this. Just because we don't include the cost-cutting numbers that we discussed in pre-council does not mean that we're not going to be able to cut costs. We've got a commitment from the administration to look very carefully and to come back to us with change orders, to come back to us with savings that can be made that will not impact the quality and integrity of the project. So I'm in favor of moving forward with this.
Mr. Carroll.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Daves just made the statement, but to move forward with the contract with the possibility, knowing that there is a value engineering process taking place where the administration is committed to accepting VE items, but more so accepting items beyond the list that you currently already have. So the fear here is that this council will never know what the true value of those deductive change orders are, because you don't have to come back to us for a deductive change order. The only thing you have to come back to us for is an additive change order. So I would request that this council put something in place so that we know what the value of the VEs are against the original contract. I think that would help ease the minds of some of the people here. Because like I said, the administration doesn't have to come back to us for a deductive change order, but for an additive it does. So we need a commitment or resolution that states that we will get that, and we will get any deductive value or VE above and beyond what's shown currently.
So Mr. Carroll's right about the deductive change orders. So right here, right now, the mayor's already made that commitment. Mr. DeLapp has made that commitment. I think Volker's made that commitment. And remember, as the governing body, you have the continuous power of inquiry no matter what. I mean, so we'll come back to you voluntarily. But if somebody decided that that wasn't going to happen, you as the council consistently have the power of inquiry at any given point in time, can always call a meeting. But I think Volker has already said that wouldn't be necessary because they wanted to keep you in the loop now that they're on board. And so taking in mind, they weren't on board when this price increase occurred. They are here now. They're doing an excellent job. And I think they are looking forward to working with you all and keeping you consistently informed. But if you all need anything else from us, just ask, because you all are the governing body and you have those powers.
Mr. President?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Mr. Carroll and Mr. Reynolds.
Let's not forget also what was stated this morning, maybe voluntary or involuntary also, of what the garage itself is going to support. It was also stated that there's other economic development that the garage is going to support beyond the Corps of Engineers building, and also beyond the Civic Center revitalization. Now, we're all aware that we haven't even gotten a final price on the Civic Center yet, but we're also talking about additional economic development structures within that campus that this facility will also support. So in time, the value of construction and what we spend will be less than what our economic return is. So its economic impact on our developmental area will be 10 times the value of the $38 million. So $432, we're talking about budget dust compared to what we're gonna gain.
Mr. President?
Mr. Reynolds.
I've always been in support of this project. I support this project today, and I'm going to vote in favor of it. I think it's one of the most important things we do on this site. It frees up all of the real estate, the remaining real estate there, for redevelopment. I just was hopeful that we would do it without having to solely rely on, value engineering that happened after the fact. I realized that we had these savings that we could take advantage of today. And I wish we would have passed it, but nonetheless, I support this project.
Any other discussion?
Yes, sir, Mr. President.
Mr. Woods.
Just speaking my piece with Mr. Davis and Mr. Carroll, really are putting faith in the fact that, without doing a mechanism up here, putting faith in you guys to report that back to us. Over the past week, this has been the topic of conversation every time I run into somebody at the grocery store. So I'm really making sure that I'm able to provide that back to my constituents, but also trust you to make the right decision and make sure that we're not stuck in a rut like we were at one time with another building. So I support this, and I'm looking forward to working with the administration and Volker to share information with our constituents.
Mr. President.
Ms. Gregory.
Thank you, and I concur with my colleagues on this. We all, citywide, had sticker shock, obviously, when this price tag went up, but we also all understand that everything has gone up tremendously, 2 times, 3 times what the original estimates are for just about everything within the city, within this country. So this, unfortunately, has happened. The estimates were old. We are told that will not happen again. Our project manager is on board. They will keep us apprised of what is going on. I mean, I would suggest that they come to see us quarterly and just bring us up to date on where we are, the pricing, any value engineering, any cost savings, that sort of a thing, so that we all are up to speed on what's going on over on site. Again, I think it's something important for us to support. The future use of this site is going to be very important to us all with the economic development, whether it is sports entertainment, retail, you name it. It's wide open to see what kind of venues and amenities come to this site over there, and it will be for the benefit of everyone in this city. And like Mr. Carroll said, eventually that economic development return will far exceed what we pay for this parking garage. So thank you.
Mr. President.
Mr. Penn.
I want to join in with my colleagues. One of the things that was a concern, of course, when I saw the price, I stated that in pre-council meeting that District 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, we all have needs, and of course this money could have been used in a different way. But at the time, Volker wasn't a part of the project at the time of the cost, and now they are, and they are experts, and now they're able to now move this project properly. So the reason why I'm supporting it, because we have to do something right now, but also another reason why I'm supporting it is because with the value engineering, we could come less than $432,000 that's being offered at this moment. So that's a point that we have to understand. So I understand my colleague, but at the same time, by having Volker a part of it now, it's an opportunity that price could even be lower. Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item pass.
Ordinances being introduced, 14052 through 64054.
Per council rules, this will lay over for 1 week, or these will lay over for 1 week.
Consent resolutions being introduced, 401219 through 091242.
Move to waive the rules for immediate consideration of these resolutions as read.
Second. Been properly moved and second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Madam Clerk?
If there's no objection, I'll take them all together, except for 401220. 401219 and 401221 are declaring the structures at 2712 Harper Avenue and 2351 Howell Avenue public nuisances and ordering them demolished. 581222 and 1223 are declaring weeds noxious, group 1649, and assessing cost for removal of weeds, repeat weed lien group 67. 60, 1224, 1225, and 1226 are determining appropriations to Boynton Oak Society, Housing First Incorporated, and the courtyards at Magnolia Grove Property Owners Association serve a public purpose in approving payment. 091241, rescind resolution 091096 adopted September 26, 2023, and 091242 transfer funds from the general fund to capital improvements fund.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes.
401220, declare the structure at 815 Chin Street a public nuisance and order it demolished.
Motion to lay over 60 days.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Laid over for 60 days.
CIP resolutions being introduced, 211227.
Move to waive the rules for immediate consideration of resolution 21-1227.
Second.
Been properly moved and second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Rules waived.
211227, authorize consultant agreement with Gant Group and Associates for stage and classroom improvements at Spring Hill Recreation Center, $20,000.
So moved.
Second.
Been properly moved and second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item pass.
Resolutions being introduced, 011228 through 601238.
Council rules, these will lay over for 1 week.
Call for public hearings, 41-1239, call for public hearing to consider a proposed modification of a previously approved planned unit development for property located at 161 Dogwood Lane, scheduled for December 12th. 41-1240, call for public hearing to consider a proposed modification of a previously approved planning approval for property located at 161 Dogwood Lane, scheduled for December 12th.
So moved.
Second.
Been properly moved and second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Public hearing is called.
Announcements.
District 4, Councilman Reynolds.
No announcements.
District 6, Councilman Woods.
No announcements.
District 2, Councilman Carroll.
No announcements, Mr. President.
District 1, Councilman Penn.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just want to let District 1 know we're getting ready, of course, for the Tomerville LaFleur Association Community Weekend. Is going to be an amazing time. The parade, as well as I will have my second Pennsgiving opportunity to come out, enjoy food in the community, in the Tomerville community, the Saturday right after Thanksgiving. And so we're inviting everyone out in District 1 to come out, celebrate. Let's have a great time and have fun. Thank you, Mr. President.
District 5, Councilman Davis. No announcements. District 7, Vice President Gregory.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a few announcements coming up on November 13th, getting ahead of myself. I have a district meeting coming up at 6:00 p.m. at the grounds. We will be covering a couple of specific topics, including redistricting and rezoning for the newly annexed areas, along with some other general items. Again, that will be November 13th, which is this coming Monday at 6:00 p.m. at the grounds. December 4th is my annual Christmas meeting at the Mobile Museum of Art, and of course, everyone in the district will be receiving information on that coming soon to your mailbox. This Friday, we will be celebrating Veterans Day in the city of Mobile. 10:00 a.m. is when the parade begins downtown, so come on out and enjoy the parade. Then, of course, the annual luncheon is following that at noon out at Fort Whiting. Also, this coming weekend is the Junior League of Mobile's annual Christmas Jubilee. Begins on Friday. The hours are 11 to 7 on Friday, Saturday is 11 to 6, and Sunday is 10 to 5. This is the largest fundraiser every year for the Junior League, and of course, all of the funds go back to benefit the community. So a lot going on this coming weekend. Hope everyone gets out to enjoy. Thank you, Mr. President.
And greetings to the citizens of District 3 on tomorrow. Representative Barbara Drummond and myself will be guest speakers at the BC Rain Veterans Day program located on Dolphin Island Parkway. That will take place in the morning at 9:00 a.m. Inviting all the veterans, especially in District 3, to come on out to BC Rain High School, where we'll be honoring veterans on tomorrow. Again, that's going to take place on tomorrow at 9:00 a.m. at the BC Rain High School. Anything from the administration?
Motion to adjourn.
Properly moving second in discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The meeting is adjourned.